There's one thing that most web developers do to your websites that's nothing short of malpractice. Stop it now. Imagine you're a brick and mortar consumer and you start to see ads for a store that looked interesting. You may not have noticed them at first because that's how advertising tends to work at the beginning. But as you saw more of them, you got interested and decided to take a stop in and see what they have next time you were in the area. And sure enough, next time you were in the area, you decided to pull over, find a parking space, grab your backpack, lock your door, and take a walk over to the store. But when you got to the front door and started to walk in, the owner came over and blocked your entrance. He asked you where you had heard about the store, and was very happy when he heard it was from the advertising he'd been doing. But then his next question was the craziest thing. He asked you if you had done any due diligence on his store. You had no idea what he was talking about, and you told him you're a little confused at the question. While still blocking your entrance, he said he'd let you in if you insisted, but before actually becoming a customer, he'd like you to read something about his store, how long they've been around, about some of their celebrity clientele. B-list, he admits at the time, but they're working on getting some A-listers. And while he's telling you all of this, you're thinking to yourself, WTF, all I want to do is get a present for my aunt's birthday next week. Okay, you tell him. Just hand me the pamphlet about your store, and I'll put it in my backpack, but I promise I'll read it when I get home. All of a sudden, his attitude changes a little bit, and he admits he doesn't actually have a pamphlet. He agrees he probably should have bothered to print them up, but he's been busy and, to be honest, he just didn't want to spend the money. Instead, he suggests to you that you take a stroll over to the local Chamber of Commerce because they have all the information on him and the other stores in the neighborhood. He says it's a beautiful day out. It would be a nice stroll down the street. At this point, your head is just spinning. You start looking around to see if Alan Funt is hiding in some of the bushes, but then you realize he's dead. So you think maybe it's the new Candid camera or the new Candid camera with his son, but that was terrible and got canceled years ago. So you realize this is actually happening. Now, you have absolutely no desire to read about his store at the Chamber of Commerce, but just to get past this, you agree to do it and ask him how far the Chamber of Commerce is. He looks at you and says, "Oh, it's just a few clicks away." Clicks, you say, in complete puzzlement. "Oh, forgive me," he says. "That's clicks with a K. I'm an old military man, and that means a kilometer. It's just a few clicks, a few kilometers away." You just don't understand. He spent all that money on advertising to get you to his store, and here you are, wallet in hand, ready to spend, and yet he's sending you away. And his voice fades off in the distance, along with any chance you are ever coming back to his store. Now, nothing like this would ever happen in real life, would it? Probably not. And yet, this happens every day online, perhaps with your store. Online stores spend real money with Google ads, Facebook ads, even print ads to get people to come to their online website and spend money. But when you get to their website stores, what's one of the first things you're likely to see? Big icons for Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, taking you away from their store. The store that they have spent months of advertising to get you to come visit. Now, if I saw this once in a blue moon, I'd think, okay, the world is full of crazies. But no, I see this all the time with big online stores, small online stores. It's absolute mass hysteria. And the reality check is, it's even worse than you thought. Because as bad as that sounds, here's how it's actually much worse. First off, unless you're a major online retailer that has earned a great amount of brand loyalty, getting customers to come to your site is hard. It takes a lot of work and costs a lot of money. Everything you do wrong pushes customers off your website. Customers that leave your website annoyed for any reason are extremely unlikely to come back anytime soon. You think that's bad? It gets worse. Much worse. Because the only upside to sending people away from your online store and off to, let's say, Facebook, is to get a like. A like? Are you kidding me? You're throwing away real money to get a non-real like? Will a like pay your mortgage? My brain is exploding. While Facebook may like that, I guarantee you your accountant and banker and mortgage holders will not. Here's a bonus tip for you. If you happen to have your website set up with good tracking, you're probably able to track what people will do when they come to your homepage. And you'll be able to track to see if people have left and gone to these other websites that you're sending them to. You may also be able to track whether or not they ever come back. And in most cases, that's probably a no. And yes, it actually even gets worse than this, because many of these websites that have prominently displayed social media platform icons taking their potential customers away, guess what? Many of these businesses don't even have social media content for people to look at when they get there. I shit you not. And while this happens mostly with smaller companies that simply don't have the resources to create a lot of social media content, I've seen this happen with large companies as well. And the truth is, while a large company won't be put out of business by this, it's taking real dollars out of the small and medium-sized e-commerce sites that can ill afford to lose customers. It's time for heads to roll, and some idiot needs to get fired. I'd start with my web guy and web developer who puts these things on a website without even thinking. And why do they do it? Simply because most small and medium-sized companies think that having those icons on their website makes their website and store look more professional. The truth is, a great quality designed website, products with great photos, videos, and descriptions, an easy to check out shopping cart, those are the things that make your business look more professional. Here's your takeaway. While getting a website, even an e-commerce website, online today isn't that big a deal, getting one that is profitable and a thriving business is still a big deal, and that takes smarts in every direction. And this is one of many reasons why you want to work with a good marketing firm to build your website and e-commerce store rather than just a web guy. A marketing firm is always thinking about what's next and how we get more customers to your business. The takeaway: stop throwing away your customers.